Yeah.
So like for me,
Mhm.
I've been in Europe here for 5 years,
Mhm.
and I feel like the fact that I know that I could always go back home to my parents
Mhm.
is a reason why I didn't invest in Zimbabwe,
Mhm.
because you know how much I love Zimbabwe and how much I always talked about moving back to Zimbabwe.
Mhm.
It was a bad decision not to like invest, because if I was to like redo my life and go back to 2020, let's say I'm going to Poland now, I would literally save every month to do something in Zimbabwe. If it's just like a small cottage or something, or just something that's yours, not your parents, just yours. Because remember, we're not getting any younger, we're only getting older. You also want to build your family, you also want to build your legacy.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, kuno kuganda usina chinhu, you can always go back home to your thing.
Yeah. And another thing is, I think that is now also part of life. That's something that people, I can't really say blame people or anything, because some of these things, like you're saying, or certain mindsets, these things come with maturity, because the knowledge that you have now and the knowledge that you had when you came here, it's completely different. Even, let's just say, when you came to Poland, after how many years did you then find a job for yourself?
It took some time, it took some time.
You see, this is what I'm saying. It's also
Yeah.
like your upbringing, also just the maturity and stuff that comes into play. You know, of course,
Yeah.
everyone, I mean, everyone in everything in life, we will always say, if I could redo this, even like for us, like most of us, we can say, if I could redo going back to high school, I would have studied more. I would have studied more. Like,
That's
yeah.
actually one of the reasons why I started this community, bro. Like, even
Mhm.
if it's just to help one person, like maybe
Mhm.
they want to come to university, they want to choose a country to go to, they can
Mhm.
actually see, oh, okay, these people
Mhm.
did this. Let me try to avoid that. Let me also do
Mhm.
this. You know?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. But as well, like I said, it also depends now. It will help someone. Definitely. I'm not saying it's
Yeah,
not going to help. You are definitely going to help people, and people are going to grasp. It's now just up to people's level of maturity to be able to take the advice.
yeah,
Because
true.
we can all
Mm.
say here, when we're young, your parents will say, don't watch TV, hakuna kwainoenda, iripo. But you say, I know what I'm doing. Now, when you're in
It's
a
the same.
situation where you're struggling and you remember what your parents were saying, you see the TV is still there, but I'm in a situation that's sticky.
It's the saying, you can take a donkey to the river, but you can't force it to drink like the water.
Yeah,
You know, I can only do what's in my control, and
yeah.
that's just bringing out my experiences and
Hmm.
getting people on here to also share their experiences and just build that community.
Hmm.
Adaunzwawo anonzwawo, asina
Hmm.
leo, honestly, it's up to you.
Yeah, yeah, like. Mhm.
But like, what type of jobs have you uh, worked in, bro? Like
Me.
ever since you came to Poland?
You know. We've started
And then
in we've started in the farm where we dig the berries, picking up strawberries, fighting with people in the fields. Hey, unitorola line yangu, see a field yangu, fighting over things like that. We've been
you
in
know,
the fact.
I'll never forget the day at my strawberry.
Uh,
There was an old man, bro. I think he was in his 40s or 50s from
uh-huh.
Zimbabwe.
Mhm.
Achizadza bhaketi nemastrawberry mudhara akati mari yangu yakutokwa naye on the feet.
Mm, mm, yeah, you see, we've been everywhere, and I feel like all these things, it all depends on exposure, back and maturity. Back then we didn't know kuti we can just qualify for a call center instead of going to struggle. Yeah, we just go to very, we're very excited. Going there, we struggle. We get there, we struggle, and you work for 1 week, you just work for 200 zloty. When in a week you're supposed to, in a week you're supposed to have at least 1,000 zloty, at least in 1 week. But you just wait there 1 week, and all you got is 200 zloty the whole week. Even though like the competition that was there, last one to the bus is not going, all those things, it was just, yeah. So I've been through the farms, I've been through the factories. And, yeah, factories were hard, and yeah, and also in the factories you kind of experience some sort of racism. Okay, I wouldn't say maybe it's racism or I don't know what to call it, right? But
They don't free. Remember when I
yeah,
worked that day,
yeah.
like
Yeah, black people, I feel like they were expected to work in a certain way or in certain
yeah,
conditions.
mm,
Like, yeah, it was just kind of, yeah. Maybe you'll be just given the hard things, maybe working in the freezer or working so close to the oven or something. It was
but
just,
one thing I'll say is I in the factories I liked how they were like more lenient with the clothes.
you liked how they were lenient to the girls. But
Yeah,
don't you
like
think that's just, what can I say? No,
because
no,
men you should suffer, women.
yeah, it's just weird. And also,
No, because
when the male guys were hard on us and nice to the ladies, to me, I saw as if maybe they are trying to get something from there. They are trying to get something out of it. To get like,
yeah, makes
you
sense.
know,
Makes sense.
yeah. So it's just how it is. Been through the factories. We've done Uber Eats, the bicycles. That one
Yeah,
I would say I some days I actually do kind of not say per se miss doing that job exactly, but I actually appreciated that job. You're working
true, true.
on your own condition, your own time, you're getting full exercise. What you work for is what you get, you know. It
And
was just
there'll be days would like go back with like what 1,000 slot.
mhm,
Like
literally
we would
in
actually
one
make
day.
proper money.
In one day. But it's just I feel like the Uber system this side for the workers, it's actually really nice, although sometimes it will not work in your favor. But in most
Yeah,
cases, that was really good. It's just that now I'm a lazy person. I don't want to be on a bike. I want to soft life. Soft life. Yeah. But I
yeah,
think that life of a hustler was really nice. I was always fit and everything. And discipline. We're disciplined. To know it would be cold outside. You know, maybe 5 degrees or maybe even that 0 degrees about to snow. But I need to go and make money, otherwise I'm not going to eat tomorrow. As much as people can see it as a struggle in life, I think that level of discipline to know I need to go do something.
and I
This,
think those experiences were amazing, man.
yeah.
Sometimes I also like miss it. I know it was
hmm
hard, but I think
hmm
about those days sometimes. Hey,
hmm
but
hmm
I Roma Pascoro was like then I
yeah. Because even though, like, if I think to today, I'm like, can I still do those things? I think I will really struggle. What we used to do, we used to be like, our clients cannot go home saying he has more money than me. I can't do that. I can't. I can't. Yeah. The motivation, but working that job by yourself, you needed to be very mentally strong
yeah, true.
because On a day that you will be the only one out there, it wasn't very. You'll be just thinking of going home.
F. You- Oh, yeah. And then the recording stopped, but I think it's back now.
All right. All right. So
What other
then,
jobs, bro?
yeah, from Uber Eats, I also did the Uber taxi driving. That's another one that's really good. But of course, what I don't like, if you buy your own car, your car is going to succumb to wear and tear,
Yeah,
deteriorate
yeah.
very much because, when I did Uber Eats, I mean, Uber driving the taxi and stuff, Uber taxi boats and all that, my car would need service every single month. You're changing oil, you're changing the air filter, you're doing what. But in the situation I'm in, like right now, because I just drive to the office, I come home, then drive to the shops, and I come home. Maybe that service will be once every 6 months, once every 8 months, depending on how much I'm using the car. But if you are
Yeah,
doing the taxi stuff, just know every month be ready to do. And the fuel, yeah, there was just so much going on. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and yeah, of course, and it's also pretty much the same. Just be disciplined and everything. I think yeah, it's good. From there, I then did my first customer service job, but I feel like that company was a scam because to this day, when I try search up the company, I don't even find it on the internet. Yeah, yeah, but
yeah,
yeah, I did my first customer service job for some company in the USA there. And from there, I've just been moving from customer service to customer service. Of course, here and there, I also did my internship for my architecture. But then with the internship now, because it's mainly educational, the pay won't be high, it won't be good. Sometimes they'll be like, you want to learn from us. So it's either we're giving you a low pay or you're doing or no pay at all. You're here for your internship because you're desperate to decide to find an internship because it's hard to find one because of the language barrier. You are just forced to say, okay, yes. Otherwise, you won't graduate.
yeah.
Mhm.
Secure a full-time job offer.
Uh, it now depends. In some cases, if you work so well and you become friends with them and stuff like that, you can do that. And in some other cases, like we had situations where some people did the internship thing, but they were not happy with the working conditions.
Okay.
In Yeah,
And what
then
about in your case?
in my case, I had an internship that wasn't paying the money. It was more like you're here for education. You are the one who needs me. I don't need you.
Yeah,
So, and like I said, for me, I wanted money as well. Even though yes, I'm getting money from where I was taken care of and stuff. I wanted money.
yeah, makes
So
sense.
of course, as soon as I knew I'm done, I want to move on to the next. I just left and I told myself, I'll I can always find the architecture maybe when I leave Poland or something. Yeah. So yeah, but it would be always best to find a job that's within your degree or whatever you're studying. That's the best. But
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm,
Okay, makes sense.
mhm.
So I think about Zimbabwe, we are now set that you definitely don't want to go back, and you see yourself building a life here in Poland. So are you thinking of like becoming a permanent citizen?
Okay. I'm not okay. Let's not say Poland, right? Let's just say outside of Zimbabwe because
Why, bro? Why?
I don't know why, bro. Like for me, of all my experiences, the only countries I can say Zimbabwe is better. Okay, but it was back then. I haven't been to these countries in a long time, but Zambia and Botswana, back then, I once went. I think I was like very young. Like I didn't like those countries when I went there. They were just dirty. They were just like eh, you know maybe it's the city I went to, but it was giving chitumbwiza in every place. Like yeah, yeah. I just didn't like that. But
Yeah.
I don't mean to offend anyone, but you just get what I mean. Like I don't mean to offend anything. Zimbabwe is a good place. Every place is nice and everything. But yeah, I just
So
Mhm,
if Zimbabwe is like no more corruption,
mhm.
um, high-paying jobs, better opportunities, will you consider coming back?
I think the most important thing for me is a good quality of living, the lifestyle. A good
Okay.
if that's nice, then because I don't okay. Because right now you're hunting for money, so definitely you're going to say yes. But if you are saying "Kuti, right now, a job in Somalia there is paying you, let's say, 20,000 US a month, are you going to take that offer down? You want, you go. But there in Somalia, you won't be happy because the living conditions are just, yeah, do you
No,
get what I mean?
then living conditions in Zim are actually good. If,
Yeah,
especially if you're man, like
yeah,
you'll be living a Hollywood standard life. But
that's what I
people
was
think,
saying. As long as the living conditions are good, right? I have no
yeah,
problem. I can come back. I can enjoy. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's why I'm saying my my level. I think my experience was is I think I lack experience in the same. I think that's my problem, my issue. I
So,
lack
so
the
you
experience.
you you'd say you've grown more in Poland than in Zim.
Yes. I think when I
Okay.
was in Zim, I was a sheep and I was led. They don't got me. Why is it? I'm not, but there's nothing wrong. I appreciate my parents and everything, but I was a sheep, you know? When I came this side, I was my own shepherd and everything. And
Yeah.
I think that's another thing that just adds to the way I feel about Zimbabwe and outside of Zimbabwe.
So,
Mhm.
so investing back home earlier,
Mhm.
is that something you're going to do or think about doing?
Yes, I definitely think about doing it. Mm, like, of course, like when I say Europe and outside of Zim, I don't want to live for the rest of my life. Let me say, I don't even want, like, imagine being 45 and you're still struggling with these TRC situations. So, I, you know, I can't be going through that.
Yeah, yeah.
Telling my kids we don't know if you'll be going to school next year because the country might say get out of my country, go back home. I can't do that.
Exactly. It's
Yeah, yeah.
tough to like raise kids in an environment like that.
So of course, like the thing that I just like about firstly is like the living conditions. I feel like it's a lot based on my experience. I just feel like it's easier to make the money decide based on my experience.
How do you say that?
Okay,
Because
like I was
in
saying.
Zimbabwe,
Mhm.
in Zimbabwe, like you can speak Shona, you can speak English. This side in Poland, where you are, few people speak English. So how can you
Okay,
explain that?
I feel like in Zimbabwe, you need money to make money.
Okay.
Do you agree or disagree with me?
I disagree.
You disagree? Okay. Yeah, that's just my feeling. You need money to make money. Just like what I said, here in Holland, I was able to buy a car working an Uber Eats job, Uber on a bicycle. Can you do that in
But
Zim?
there's people who also like do that in Zim. That's the thing. Like there's now Bolt, there's now InDrive. I know a guy who does InDrive. He built his house in is it Mount Pleasant?
Hmm.
Yeah, nice house. And if you see the guy, he now has like for my InDrive. I know he's a driver. Every day he collects money from them.
And all that
This guy
was
started
from.
with one car.
Mhm.
Mm.
No, so that's lovely. So like I said, I think my view of Zimbabwe, it mainly lies on the fact that I do not have a good enough experience in Zim, I think. And of course, I haven't been there in a long time. I don't do a lot of research because, like, I've gotten very comfortable decide where I am, you know. My friends, I've the my new friends in Europe, in the side when you were here and everything, everything I had close to my heart was here. So I guess that's another thing with me.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
yeah.
that's
So
very.
let's go back to your career. Would you
Mhm.
see yourself like being an architect in the future? Let's say you move to a different country or
Definitely, yes. Like for me, like definitely. And like I mentioned in the beginning, leaving a mark on the earth, it would be nice for me to have a building in every country. I go to Poland, I leave a building here. Next time I move to Canada, I leave at least a building there. I go to
yeah.
Australia, I leave a building. No, that's my dream. That would be so wonderful for me. Like I feel like
I'm just
that's the whole
wondering
point.
how AI could like replace architectures. Do you think it's possible or not really?
Yes, it's possible, but I have not seen or we have not encountered. Yes, I've heard that the ChatGPT can do some drawings for you or anything, but the in
Yeah,
maybe I don't do enough research, or maybe I just don't come across it. But I haven't come across situations where architectural job are at risk because of AI. I haven't seen that yet. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Definitely makes sense. So let's say you were to go back 2020.
Mhm,
Wakutangit,
mhm.
would you do anything differently than what you've done so far?
Would I
Would you
have
change a
done
few things
anything?
or
Yes, I would. I would have been more focused, definitely.
like with school or what?
Yes, definitely. With school, I would have been more focused with school. I would have been more, what do you call it? Responsible financially. I won't even lie to you. I think I've wasted a lot of money this side in Poland, just be more responsible financially. Um, I think, yeah, those are the two things that I can say I would change. Just being more focused on school and being more, like, just being mature, like, being able. I know it's part of growing up. Like people say, it's part of growing up and yeah, certain things, in your life, yeah, sure. But yeah, I would definitely be more responsible with money and yeah, just focus on school a bit more because, like I said, those few semesters that I had to redo, like it wasn't nice for me because even like sometimes you also fight with the university, you tell them, but this subject I passed, and then they'll say, but you need to do the whole semester again and things like that. Like it's
Yeah.
just yeah. So yeah, so I guess that's how it is.
Okay. say the same. The next question.
Mhm.
Let's say you had to look back at this interview in about 5 to 10 years.
Mhm.
What's one message you would want people to take away from? And what's one goal that you have for yourself in like 5 to 10 years that you want to have achieved? That you can always come back and say, oh, I actually did that and be proud of yourself.
Mhm. All right. In the next 5 years, right? I would like, okay. The thing with I'm not trying to, what do you call it? Limit or anything, but based on what I know, architects only become big as they mature with age, because trust and experience and all that. But in the
Yeah.
next 5 years, it would be wonderful if there is one building, at least one building, like an office building or something, a structure that, not a house, like an office building, I mean, or a hotel or something that has been fully managed, coordinated, or built by me and by my name. Not that, not saying that, because as an upcoming architect, you work under the big architects, so
Yeah.
it won't be in my name; it will be in his name because he's advising me. Yeah, so like I'll be helping with ideas and doing what and learning from him. But in next 5 years, if I have put a foundation myself, I will be very happy in the next 5 years. Yes,
Definitely.
please.
I thought you
Mhm.
were going to talk about like something else. In next 5 years, I want to have like my own wife, my own family, and
Mhm. Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, yeah. Of
that's
course. Yes. Okay. I thought you meant based on architecture or whatever. But yeah, definitely
oh,
also in the next 5 years. Yeah, definitely. I also want to have a wife. I want to be married. And I also want to have at least, yeah, a campaign.
come down.
Yeah, a campaign. Yeah, because I talk to him the other day too. So you want to be,
Atsatsa kuchembera, atsatsa kuchembera.
yeah,
Tichiripo, tichiripo.
you. You don't want to be 30 and you are thinking of diaper Marie. You need to know diaper Marie at 30, not diaper Marie.
But thanks for joining, bro. It was amazing.
No, thank you very much for inviting me, bro. This was a good chat. All right. Have How are you, Mr. Masunda?
Thanks for joining. So, because Changachunga and Jess here, we both have experiences that we went through, and it's
Hmm.
just going to be like a short conversation, just getting to know each other and our experiences.
Hmm.
So, yeah, maybe you can start with telling me like, who is Mr. Kondo? Who is Tadiwa Kondo?
What can I say? I can't really say much, but Tadiwa is just fact. Okay, I can't not say I cannot say much. Okay, fine. I am an architect. I am a Zimbabwean. Okay, what can I say? It's very
Okay,
funny that I can't. Eh,
maybe I can go first. So,
eh,
I'm a 24-year-old guy. I went to Poland in 2020 to do
mhm,
my bachelor's, and
mhm,
I ended up leaving Poland in 2024
mhm,
to go to Spain to do my
mhm,
master's in
mhm,
international marketing.
mhm,
And now I recently lost my job,
mhm,
so I'm going to be relocating back to Zimbabwe. But
mhm,
that was like by choice because I could either stay here and apply for jobs and keep going through that visa process and all that.
mhm,
But I decided to actually go back home, you know.
mhm,
So yeah, that's why.
All right. So if you put it like that, that makes it easier for me to, yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm Tadiona Shekondo. I'm also 24 years old. Came to Poland in 2020 to study architecture, and I have gotten my degree. Um, right now, I can say I have a job right now, but yes, it's not yet in my field. It's not very easy to find a job in my field based on because of the language barrier. There are companies there, but of course they are not yet. I don't know if they are not yet open to hire uh, people who only speak English, or maybe these companies haven't developed enough. I'm not sure what the issue is there. Um, I enjoy my time here in Poland, and yeah, I don't know. I haven't planned to go back to Zimbabwe yet because I think I'm sort of attached to the European life, like comparing. Compared to what it was like, what Zimbabwe was like when I was last there, and what I experience here and now, I just feel like it's far better than being in Zim. There's lots of things to do here. Of course, in Zim, I hear from people who go there and come back, people who are still there. There are things to do, but I don't know. I think I would have to experience it for myself other than just hearing it. But based on my time in Zim and the time I've spent in Poland, in Europe, I feel like I've enjoyed my time in Europe a lot more. Yeah, yeah.
Other people out there that maybe want to study architecture, like what would you say inspired you to study it? How hard was it? Because I remember like seeing your schedule every week
Mhm,
was so crazy compared to mine
mhm.
those days.
Oh, all right. So for me, why I studied architecture. For me, I found it really amazing to be able to bring an idea to life. You are imagining something in your head and you draw it on paper. Then from paper, you're helping and instructing people to understand your idea and bring it into real life form. And I just feel like being able to create such things and, just having something stand there, something that you created. It's just, I think it's an amazing feeling, and you would have left a mark on the world. So, I think that, yeah. And then studying architecture. Let me tell you, the first few years, right, were amazing. Let's say the first 2 years, because my course was 4 years. My course was 4 years. My first 2 years, they were amazing. They went through fast and easy, and they were nice. Then came the third year when there are now exams. The projects get harder, like, because, like the first 2 years, there would be things like group projects and things like that. And the tasks were given then, they were a lot like simpler to go through and, but now, I mean, not now, but after those 2 years, yeah, they got a lot harder. It got a bit like tiring, and as well, I think for myself, like, I feel like I got also like tired of school. Like, I now wanted to start making money. Rushing to that. It's not like I was desperate or anything, but just I feel like maybe it's also social media or something, but or just the need once they grow or get they they grow fast, and I just wanted money so soon. that, going to school, yes, I'm going to school. There's nothing wrong with learning. Learning is good. But then just knowing that I'm spending, because I would go to school maybe 7 a.m. on some days, and I'm leaving at 9 p.m. I'll leave the house at, yeah. Some days I'll be lucky enough to have a big enough gap around lunch that I can go home and eat, maybe take a nap and come back to school again. But on some days, it's just throughout the whole day at school. And I lived a bit far from school. There's a period where I lived a bit far from school, and I would then have to, find maybe a classmate or a friend who lives close by. And whenever there are those gaps, and I don't want to be sitting alone in the library or something, you just go to his house and come back. But at the same time, there are some days when your friend has got plans, and
Yeah.
you are then just forced to just soldier, be at school from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. And I would say these experiences sometimes were not really nice or not really good, but as long as you had someone to keep you company, everything was fine. But yeah, I got tired of that in the last few years. And I'll even be honest with you, I actually kind of struggled for some time. There were a few semesters I had to redo and stuff because I just got lazy and stuff. But yeah, then
So
managed to get back. Mhm,
mentioned something about get get the job, maybe
mhm,
because of language barriers or other problems. So would you
mhm.
like advise someone to come to Poland or go to a different country to pursue architecture or not?
Okay, to pursue architecture, yeah, I would say if we just want to learn, right, just for the sake of learning, I can say you can come, right? But now there's another issue there where, or maybe it was just the university that I went to that I maybe just doesn't have good enough connections or something. Because from what I understand, universities are supposed to help us, um, find, if we struggle to find connections like for internships and stuff, they're supposed to help us with these things. But, you know, in at Australia University where I went, I don't know if it would be right to say this and publicize it, yeah. But anyway, I don't mean anyhow. It's a good university and everything. There are just a few things that I can say that just need to get in check. But it's a really good university, good teachers, understanding people, very good, diverse. See people from many countries. It's a really nice place to be. But I could say I can say that, but like, yeah, the thing that I can say, language barrier in Poland it's a very huge obstacle. Yeah. So things like internships, looking for internships that will speak in English and things like that, it can be an issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this case, like, you're right, Netherlands would be better, or even Canada, like where English is strong, then you can go there because I feel like um uh multi bilingual uh, architectural businesses lacking in Poland. Yes, 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 yeah. Mhm,
Poland in 2020,
mhm,
expectations like what are you expecting like when I was watching movies back in Zimbabwe,
mhm,
parties and all that
mhm,
stuff. So it's like what I was expecting when I came here. And then I noticed it's actually not like that. It's actually different from what you would be expecting. I don't know if it was the same for you.
I think for us, the main difference is because movies are based in America. Most movies that we watch are based in
Yeah.
America, and we will now be expecting the American infrastructure, the way things are in America, and as well with Poland, you know, I wouldn't say recent, but they're one of the, from my understanding, they're one of the last countries, to gain the independence and all this, and they are a developing country. So when I came in 2020, even some areas and some buildings, they were seen kind of ugly. Like, am I in the right place? Like, did I come to the right country? Am I in the right place? But with time, I then actually got used to it. And as I watched them develop, the place actually got more and more beautiful, and also, one thing that I can commend Poland on, like, this place is very clean. It's a very clean country, very clean. You don't just see papers anywhere or people. Yeah, yeah. And also, yeah, very peaceful. Unless you bump into the wrong people. Yeah. Yeah.
Then you
Yeah.
also mentioned something about like Zimbabwe
Mm-hmm.
not being a place for you, or you not
Mm-hmm.
seeing yourself back in Zimbabwe. What is it
Mm-hmm.
that you think Poland can offer Zimbabwe? I know you mentioned the cleanliness and just
Okay.
peacefulness.
All right. Like there's just things. Okay. I wouldn't say. Okay, fine. All right. What I can say, right, is let's say, okay, I would say is the standard of living. Let me just say, like here in Poland, on a, like, for me, like, let's say a bachelor, I can live a comfortable life, right? Uh, with a simple call center job. I can live a very comfortable life. But if this was the same in Zimbabwe, a call center job in Zimbabwe, you'll be living in Umbare there or in Wedza or something. No, I'm telling you. Okay, okay. What is? Yeah, I haven't researched. What is the entry level or starting salary for a call center job in Zimbabwe? Hmm. Hmm.
So, yeah.
Hmm. No, yeah, but keep in mind these Mount Pleasant, Chisipiti that they're talking about. Don't say not with their parents, their own apartment, own house. I know my
So,
parents,
sorry,
my parents, my parents have got flats in Zimbabwe, right? And renting one of those flats is 400 a month,
okay,
right?
but then that's like upper class. You can get a room in Zim for like 50 US a month because
Really?
people
Oh,
get paid like peanut money. That's all.
okay. I didn't know. I didn't know that
Yeah.
that you can get, let's say, an apartment to rent in a place like Borodale or Mount Pleasant or Marlborough for 50 US. I didn't know that you can get that.
What the door I doubt, but like I didn't go my places, and this is that's what I hear from people. I haven't actually done the research. I know
Hmm.
someone who pays 200. She
Hmm.
has like a room in the shared accommodation.
Hmm. Oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
But that's shared accommodation. You're paying 200, and imagine you're earning we're just basing things on, let's say, someone who's going to school and he's got a call center job per side, like what most people who come to Poland experience, right? You've got a call center and you're living and you're going to school at the same time, because you can't really get a highly demanding job, you know. So yeah, in this case, I wouldn't want to be living. I'm not trying to hate or anything. I love Zimbabwe and everything. But based on my background and where I was raised in my life, I wouldn't be comfortable living in areas that are not of the same standard. I'm not saying anything bad about other people, but of the same standard that was set by my parents already. I wouldn't be comfortable in anything less. Not that I can't, but I just won't be comfortable in anything less.
Okay, the standards that your parents set, you
Hmm.
say they're pretty high, right? Like
Yes,
you went to
yes,
a good school, you had a good life, you
yes,
can't complain. I
yes.
think I would say the same about myself too. And
Hmm.
would you think it's possible to get a life like that in Poland, earning the salary that you earn?
Yeah, that is what I was saying. Here in Poland, I feel like with the simple call center job, you can do everything. You can pay your rent, you can have enough money on the side as well to go do whatever, if it's going out with friends. Yeah, but of course, it's not like with every salary you can go to France, go to Barcelona, go to wherever. No, no, not like that. But like maybe you save up once every 3 to 4 months, you can at least save up something to go see a place, go somewhere. But and it's also, I just feel like, yeah, the standard of living is it's just nice, better based on my experience. Or maybe it's because as well, maybe I never really got the chance to be exposed to the life in Zim, because when I was that side, I was always indoors, always at home. My parents didn't allow me to just move around, and stuff, like, because, yeah. So maybe that's my fault.
I think, yes, it's
Mm,
good.
mm,
And the living standards are definitely high, but
mhm,
not when you're working a 9 to 5, not when you're working for someone. Because number one, we are
mhm,
easily replaceable. Any second, they can tell you to get fired and replace you.
mhm.
Then what? You have nowhere to start. If you have no investment, if you have nowhere to go, honestly,
Yeah.
that's when you now decide to go home.
Now, I want you to also know something, right? When we're working and stuff, you're supposed to work to the best of your ability. If you are replaceable, it's either you're in the wrong place, right? Or you are not working hard enough. That is my view on
Yeah,
things.
but let's take a person who just came to Poland, right?
Hmm.
They're
Hmm.
working customer service. They
Hmm.
need that experience, right?
Yes.
And they end up working that same job
Hmm.
for 4 years. Maybe if they get promoted, they'll be like team manager. After team
Hmm.
manager, that's another 4 years. That's already 8 years of your life that
Hmm.
you wasted down the line. So, what's your plan, there, bro? Like, do you see what I'm saying?
Okay. Now, in that case, if you are planning, or if you are now in a situation where you've come to Poland and you are working a customer service job for 8 years, I feel maybe, excuse me, in such a case, if it's not something that you are happy with, then you have kind of lost your purpose, right? If you're not comfortable, you're not having lost. You came here to study, you got your degree. By the time you get your degree, I would expect maybe you can have an extra year or something doing this call center job. But by the time that extra year is done, you should be doing something in your field, something that is developing you more. You can't be then comfortable. That's the another issue that I was saying now that happens this side. Because the standard of living is comfortable. People can forget, lose focus. You get, they lose focus. They could say, I came here to be a businessman or whatever. but the money they'll be earning from these call center jobs, I'm not saying it satisfies everyone, but in some cases, people get so comfortable they forget that I came here to be an architect, I came here to be a nurse, to be a surgeon, to be a whatever, and they start pushing that call center job and forget everything else.
Yeah, I don't think that people forget necessarily because people who really struggling, the people who know what to pay their bills. I know someone in Poland who works 2 jobs and they send money home every month. They pay their home
Mm.
school fees. Like they work so hard, and it's really sad that people have to go through this. And people back in
Yes,
Zimbabwe will be thinking, this person is living Hollywood standard life, but at the end of the day, they're not. You get
yeah, but like in this situation, right? And I don't mean to offend anyone or anything. In this case, like you're saying, this person is put in a position where they have to work 2 jobs and all. Because, like you said, they have to pay school fees, then they've got rent, then they have to also take care of people at home and stuff. But I'm coming from a point where you have come to Poland directly for self-development, right? Your parents have sent you to school. Maybe your first 2, 3 years, they were paying rent for you and everything. They were looking after you. And then maybe then they'll say, as time goes, they'll start saying, upkeep, can you find out by yourself? Then they start weaning you off slowly and in a manageable way, you know? By the time you're done with school, and you're now settling for your call center job or the job you started with that is not in your field, or that you cannot see yourself, like let's say having this job by the time you are married and having kids, that this is the job that you'll be working. I feel that's why I'm saying, like, in this case, then you might have lost some direction somewhere, or you got too comfortable somewhere. But if you are in a situation where you are the one who's supposed to take your family at a different level. Like your whole family is depending on you. You come to Poland, then you have to be sending money home. You have to pay your own school fees and all. I think, yeah, it will be very tough. It's not going to be easy. But
yeah,
if you look at it from a point of where you are taking care of yourself, eh, everything is good.
okay, let's say there's someone
Hmm.
they earn 5,000 zloty per month,
Hmm.
right? They're paying 2,500 zloty per month rent. They're
Hmm.
left with 2,500.
Hmm.
Uh, that 2,500 won't even last them through the whole month because by end of month they are now looking for loans, asking for money from people back home and things like this.
My guy, 2,500. If you are
Slot,
finishing yes, 2,500 slot. If you are finishing that in a month for just personal upkeep, in my
bro.
view,
I want you to remember that there's a lot of people that are not like you, and there's a lot of people that come to Poland. They're still young. They're still in that mindset. Yeah, they want to have fun, like what we went through also. So,
mm,
so what did go on, Magada? And yeah,
yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's part of growing up, of course. In the
mm,
beginning, that money seems like it's ishoma because of the things that we'll be doing. You
mm,
know, we organize parties every weekend or something, or if anyone thinks of, let's go to Gdansk, everyone is doing, and when you want to go to Gdansk, instead of just using a bus or a train, you want to hire a car. And you're doing this maybe 3, 4 times a week. Of course, 2,500, that one, it will go like easy. But, as you grow up, you see these things, just take your bus. Literally, as a student in Poland, two zloty will take you many places. Two zloty, just two zloty. Two zloty will take you many places. And in most cases, those buses are always on time. Of course, it's the only problem that I can say is just having to stop at every bus stop. Yeah. But yeah. And if you plan and schedule your holidays or your fun time with your friends properly, you also won't be finishing this money, because when most people are like the young guys, like I'm speaking from experience. Of course, maybe other people have got different views, different experiences, different responsibilities. With friends today, like let's say in our friend group today, Clarence feels like he wants to chill with the friends. You will call, then we do. This is not planned. It's just one day, guys. Let's just do something. Tomorrow it's Thomas. Tomorrow it's the next day it's Ben. The next day it's you get, and this we didn't even work. We're not mature enough as well to tell each other that these chills or this fun time we want to have, it's not within my budget. People will just say, I can afford that now and do it. But when you come back from the fun time, then you look at your bank account and be like, hey, yeah, you see.
Yeah.
But when these things are planned and you look at your budget and you plan your month with what you have earned properly, like with a mature mindset, I don't think, yes, you know, yeah, I totally understand. I mean, I agree with you, and I hear what you're saying. Uh, but as well, like, I feel like there's now a difference now. That's it now comes to what I was saying. The standard of living here in Poland is different. If you're in Zim, okay, like I said, for me, I never got the chance to really explore the way I did the site. But I just feel like maybe this going out every time or a plan or these haphazard plans, random plans that come up, I think doesn't happen as often because there's less to do in Zim than this side. This is in my opinion, like I said, coming from someone who didn't have that much exposure that side. Because I mean, this side, how many different restaurants are this side? How many different uh, entertainment places? Like maybe there's laser gun shooting, or there's paintball, or there's like, yes, these things are there in sim, but then I'm just saying the number. There's different things. You said there's escape room. There's so many different. Like I can say for you, you've taken me many places to said like that I never thought existed. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah, there's a lot. So when when there's so much to explore and you have little money that you haven't budgeted, you will suffer. It's
Yeah.
definite. There is no other way to do it. You will suffer. But if you have budgeted well, then it's less likely. Yeah, that is my opinion. Um, okay, going back to Zimbabwe, right? Is I haven't like okay. It may seem like like Zimbabwe is a complete X. Like I never want to go, but that's not the case, right? The thing I've noticed with Europe, it's like okay, in some countries, I don't know if it's every country or whatever, but no, being a foreigner, it's it's not nice because of the strict rules that are here that you have to abide by and all that. Like this thing of having to apply for TRC every time, sometimes you get denied, the uncertainty, you know, and when you get a TRC, let's say you get 3 years, you get 2 years, those years they move by so fast. You do all you can to apply in advance. Maybe TRC will then take an extra year or two to come out, and yeah, and you can't even leave Poland. You can't even then go and explore and live the life that you wanted and do all that, And and sometimes like just having that that feeling of on Independence Day, don't go out because people. It's like a racist day, something like this. All these sort of things. Yeah. It's it's not nice, of course, and of course you'd want to go back home. It's not that okay. I can't say I don't miss my miss. I do miss Zimbabwe, but I'm not eager. Okay, it's contradicting itself. I'm not eager to go back. If I'm to go back to Zim, I just want to go back for a week. Just for the memories. See, I see Deji. Eh, but I think if I go to Zim, I'll be very tired in 2 seconds. Like I've seen it. Let me go back.
But
That's what will happen.
I asked you this one. Like, how does it
Mm.
feel not being home in so long? 5 years, huh? How does that feel? Like,
Mm, yeah, it's very touchy because of course, there's family that side. I haven't seen my grandma in so long. I haven't seen there are certain cousins that I used to get along with like that, you know,
yeah, yeah,
and now like we like even maintaining these relationships over the phone can be difficult. Sometimes, my grandma can message me today, maybe I'll respond in 2 months later or something like this or vice
yeah,
versa. Yeah. In that case, yeah, it's very difficult and all. But for me as well, it's not that I don't love like my family, that is outside of my my cousins, my also extended family. It's not that I don't love them or anything, but like I don't know, just coming to Poland was so natural for me and everything. Of course, here and there it can hit me, I miss my cousin. How are they? And stuff like that. But it's not like my life is not functioning. I don't know why it just works for me. There's people who just don't have attachments. There's people who have attachments in that way. I don't feel homesick. I'm the type of person who can just fit in certain places, like I can just, you know,
yeah.
get used to certain places easily. And when I came here, I just got used to it. I just feel like it's better. I know corruption is there, but it's good that I don't see it. I'm happy that I don't see it. Whenever these guys are telling me the president is like this and stuff, and they put the news, I don't understand what they are saying. Okay, fine, maybe I'm being closed or what. But being closed while you are knowing that I'm being closed and they are just there smiling and there's nothing you can do. And you know that you are being closed. That's painful. That's painful. But being closed, yes, you can be
It's,
closed, but you don't know you're being closed. I think it's okay.
it's but
Hmm.
vision
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
going to be
Hmm. Mhm. 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 I- In that case, if you have got nowhere to go to in them, I think definitely it will be a very good idea to make sure that whenever you go outside of Zim, you're working and doing whatever you're doing, but remembering to lay or make your bed in Zim, you know, so that when things get bad this side, of course, you've got somewhere to run to, somewhere to go to, somewhere, definitely. That's why I
Okay.
was saying that time, coming to Poland, I feel like people have got different situations. Someone is coming here. I'm not offending or anything, but they come here and they are in a desperate situation. Of course, all they are going to be saying is Poland, this is hard, or this, the jobs, or that. They're just going to be complaining throughout. They're going to be complaints. But in a situation like myself, like I said, I'm taken care of. I was taken care of, and everything. Like I wasn't in a desperate situation. Everything was laid out for me and stuff. I see the good side more than the struggles. So that's why I can say maybe that's another reason why I am more comfortable. I'm happy. I have got more positive things to say about being in Poland or being outside of them.